Jesus doesn't want me to pray in certain occasions. He wants to help me with that. But if I don't ask him, I mean, I can hit the wall pretty quick. So, I mean, being considerate, being humble, being forgiving, and just like overall taking yourself out of what you're doing as much as possible. Because the less of you there is, the more that Jesus has room to utilize. And then the better that he can utilize what you have.
Wow. Welcome back to Ministry Reimagined. I had a lot of fun with this episode because Fio has been a leader in so many different aspects in ministry, and it was cool to dive deeper into her passion, into why she does it, and what it really looks like, and what she thinks it should look like. Stay tuned. How you feeling, Fio? You feeling good?
I'm feeling good. I'm so excited. I don't know what to do with myself right now. I'm inside an actual warehouse where you record podcasts.
This is true. For context, me and Fio filmed a podcast on my first podcast account 2 years ago now.
2 years
I
over.
think it was 2 years ago.
No, it was about 2 years.
It was about 2 years.
Dramatic.
And she's been there through my little setup where I just had one camera and my little 2 mics.
Let me tell you, last time we filmed a podcast, we were in the greenhouse. We walked all the way upstairs to the greenhouse, tiny little room. We sat these 2 mics down. Pretty sure one of them stopped working. We had one camera, and I was so geeked about it. I was like, this is so cool.
I know.
And then I would watch little episodes and listen to it. And then this is the second podcast she started. And she's got a full setup. If you ever do a BTS,
I will put a little BTS video here.
It is so cool. It's just oh. I'm so proud. This is so cool.
So she's been there through the come up.
Look at that.
The come up. I'm excited, first of all, not to glaze you or anything, but to glaze you up a little bit. I have known you, how long? Since?
I want to say 12 years or more.
I feel like it's been more than 12.
Yes.
It would have been 8.
No, we've known each other for probably 15 years.
Probably. Our parents will have to fact check that. If they're watching this. It's definitely...
Tell us if we're wrong.
I know. But around 15 years. So I've known you for such a long time. And I've, had the privilege of seeing you grow up and growing up with you too. And seeing how you've grown in life and in your joy in ministry. And I just want to ask, what sparked all of that. So I'm excited today to dive deeper into that.
If I cannot cry.
No. Hey, let it out.
We'll get through it.
We'll get through it. That's perfect. I do want to ask, because I've talked to some people that I've seen clearly are involved in ministry, but they've been like they don't really count it as ministry. How would you view what ministry even is?
Okay, funny enough, I had so many conversations over the past 3 weeks about what that is because I've gone through a couple of major changes. Well, just one, but I've thought a lot about career as I'm in college. And for some reason, I always kind of felt it in my heart, teaching or ministry with whatever I do. And now that I'm studying PT, I've made a complete switch and everything's very science heavy. But still somehow I find myself thinking about teaching or ministry a lot. And so we've had conversations with different people about okay, well, what does it mean? Are you choosing ministry or PT? Or can your PT be your ministry? And growing up, I've always heard that anything can be your ministry. And I kind of tied that to anything can be your tithes, right? And so if we believe in giving tithes and offerings back to Jesus, I use my time equally as much as I do my money to give back to Jesus because nothing I have is actually mine. And so when I look at ministry and when I look at tithing to Jesus and to the church, it's really just giving back something that was given to me as a gift. And so, yes, ministry can be one focus. Right now, this is your ministry. This is one specific form of ministry. But I mean, everything you do and everything you are, for me, anything I'm doing, even if it's a conversation, in my head, I would like it to be some sort of ministry because I want someone to be able to walk away either feeling happier or having a sense of Jesus, even if they don't know what that is yet, something inside of them. And so for me, I love getting involved in ministries that have a label. It's fun. It's a passion of mine. But I do also believe in living out your ministry and not making it a certain lot of time. Does that make sense?
Wow. I do want to ask because you have grown up in ministry. What was that process growing up as a pastor's kid, a teacher's kid?
Well,
be as honest as you want.
Yes, and I will. Oops, I hit the mic.
That's fine.
And I will. I feel like there's two sides to the coin. And luckily for me, the coin hasn't really been that rusty. Like, I have truly loved growing up in the church. I'm so lucky to say it, because lots of people who have pastors as parents or teachers as parents have a really negative view of the church, because unfortunately, maybe some families or some pastors, like just the way that things are and the way that they behave, or life experiences teaches people as they grow up to have a negative view. And for me, like, I consider my parents to be some of the wisest people in the entire world, like in my life, yes. But I mean, anything they say, I'll probably be like, yeah, I'll end up doing that, because they're super wise. But they also did a really good job of raising my sister and I to view the church in a positive way, despite the church. So like, yeah, I mean, the church has its defects. Everything has its faults. There's nothing that's perfect. But I know that in the church, there's a lot of fake people. There's a lot of controversy that can happen. There's a lot of drama that can happen in the church. But my parents taught me to view the church as simply the body of Christ, and like, your body's not perfect, but the goal is to help the parts of your body that are not working right in order to function properly to accomplish the goal of moving the body, right? And so my parents taught me to really, really love going to school, love being involved. And so at a very young age, I mean, we were classic singing up front, and we were doing special musics. My dad always had us, when he greeted at the back of the church, he would have my sister and I like stand with them. And I remember sometimes my mom would say, our goal was at the end of greeting people, we had to go tell my mom what the eye color was of the people that we greeted, because we were supposed to look them in the eye and like whatever. So they really wanted us to be raised and be involved in that way. And so I loved it. I loved getting involved. It helped me to make connections even as I moved around a lot. I found a good sense of purpose in it. Just like, okay, I'm doing something I know is good. Even if maybe sometimes it's annoying, I know I'm doing something good. So I want to do it. And it was always that way. And then getting into high school, that kind of became my choice. So now I was a little bit more independent, and I could choose, okay, do I want to do class office? Do I want to do essay? Do I want to do music? Do I want to do this and that? It was my choice. So then I had to sit and think a little bit more, do I actually want to do this? And I didn't really have to think much, because again, like, my parents kind of taught me to love it for myself. And in this way, I could separate them and be like, okay, that was what my parents said. Well, let me just reinforce it without having my parents be there right with me and doing it. And, you know, you have some bad experiences, you have some struggles, you get really tired. I mean, burnout is another huge thing if we end up talking about it today, but burnout is big. I had some burnout. But at the end of the day, like, I always would come back feeling tired, and I would maybe complain or I would cry for a second. And then once that all passed, it would be like, I mean, who am I to complain? Like, I was given a gift to be able to do this. Why am I going to complain about having the abilities to help and being involved in something that who else could possibly dream of being involved in this? So, yeah, I grew up in ministry, had some struggles, but I was taught to love it for what it is and not just for the thing that you can get out of it. And just the joy that you get out of it has kept me in it ever since.
Wow. So there was never a part of you that was like, oh, once you got of age, you weren't like, oh, I don't have to do this anymore, and I can stop. Well,
the thing is, you also have an expectation when you're a pastor's kid. I mean, our parents are similar in that way. Your dad's not like a pastor, but we're kind of at an expectation. I felt at least a little bit of pressure when I was growing up, and this is maybe a more negative side to it, but as a pastor's kid, you're viewed at a certain standard. So if all the kids are being rambunctious, maybe not me, because I'm the pastor's kid. So yeah, like little Teddy over here can be a wild child, but if I am, people are going to say, oh, like Pastor Oudri's kid is being this way. And so I always, if I didn't get involved, I didn't want to be viewed as the pastor's kid who wasn't involved or like straight away. And I feared the image of myself like being that way. So I never really thought about moving away. I did sometimes find that when I ran into like negative experiences, I wanted to like, okay, I can't do this. But I feel like God was always kind of there telling me like, okay, no. Like, don't quit. You know, this brings you life, you know, and like serving other people, don't forget that it brings you life when other people try and distract you. So I think having a devotional life or like keeping God in your mind when you're doing ministry, as obvious as it sounds, is what helped me, because if I didn't have the Holy Spirit like continuing to help me get back into the things that were frustrating me about ministry, then I could have easily just thrown in the towel and been like, this person's annoying me, I'm going to get out of here. But that's also very selfish of me. And in ministry, you can't be selfish. So, yeah, that's what I would say to that.
Wow. Yeah. I do want to ask because you said earlier when your parents were raising you up, they gave you that relationship, but even without the responsibility of the church. You know what I mean when you said that? So how do you think that they separated the relationship and church?
That's a good question. Well, to that, I would say my parents and my extended family all, like, when I talk about my family, I don't do it lightheartedly because I seriously, like, am so blessed with the family that I was born into. My grandparents, at least from my dad's side, were not born Adventists. They found, like, this religion, they found this denomination, they found Jesus that way later on in their lives. And so they were pretty new to it when my aunt and then later my dad were born. And so they had the experience where they discovered this message. They weren't born into it and used to it their whole lives. Like, they discovered it. And so they did a really good job of raising my dad and my aunt, who I admire so much, in this way. And they taught them a passion for it. And so when I was born, I had my dad and then my mom, who also, her family, like her parents, involved in the church their whole lives. Like, how should I say this? My grandparents passed a really good example to my parents. My parents got married, decided they wanted to do it the right way. And when I was raised, I had this whole entire band of uncles, aunts, parents, sister even, like grandparents, all these people who wanted to teach me right. And so they all led by example, because even if I saw people messed up in the church and I heard accounts and I saw things that would happen, my dad would talk to me about elder meetings, right? Those are not always fun. Like church board meetings aren't always, happy and sunshine. But within my circle, I had countless people who were connected to me by blood that were like the perfect example to me, as perfect as you can get, to like how you're supposed to be a Christian. And so I never doubted that there were good Christians out there, because I had at least 13 like in my circle, and like all these examples that were shown to me like constantly. The way that I want to be better is because I want to be like those people, and those people want to be like Jesus. And so I want to be like Jesus. Who better to look at? So I think that one thing that really helped me was when they were raising me, they made sure that my family first was very involved. My extended family was very involved in my life. And then as they continued to teach me and, teach me scripture and teach me this and that, then they made a big emphasis in surrounding me with the next layer of people, with like church family. We had a really, really good support system from our church families whenever we would move. I mean, we made friends with you guys. Think of Laura and Luca, like Lulu, Ruth, all these people of just amazing, amazing people in the church who were like an extra layer of safety. So for me, it was like, I know that there's messed up people in the church, but that presence never distracts me from the fact that there are also like amazing people in the church. And knowing that really never like spoiled the church for me, because I saw the church for what it could be and for what God wanted it to be. And so that has helped me to see the like hurting church and the messed up church as just that, a hurting church, not as the entire church. Does that make sense?
That's good. Give me goosebumps a little bit.
No,
that's good.
It's cold in here, guys. It's really what it is.
No, that's not why. Wow, that's good. I do want to ask, looking at your experience in ministry a little bit, what does that kind of look like in your life? Like when you think about ministry in your life, what comes to mind?
When I think of ministry, I think of what I experience and I think of what I can give. Right? And so there's ministries that you see. I mean, Belong Ministries just gave us a ton of food. Like Belong Ministries, I see the things that have been poured into me. I see that. And I see those as very much like almost like a healing balm. That sounds so dramatic and mystical of me. But when I see ministries, I see like, people trying to heal you of something. It doesn't mean that you have to be completely hurt, but if I'm relaxed and I go somewhere and someone's trying to make me more relaxed, still they're helping me in some way. Terrible example, but ministries to me, I've experienced a sense of healing when people try and pour into me. And so when I look at ministry in my life, I look at it as simply just trying to pour into something else. And so, for example, Celeste and I have been involved in Proximity this year, which is Vespers every Friday. And we're involved with planning, programming, inviting speakers, making activities, making videos, a whole bunch of stuff, which is like everywhere, and it's so much fun. But the real goal of it is to pour into somebody. I mean, with the reels, how can I make somebody laugh? With activities, how can I stimulate a different form of thinking about the scripture that we're going to learn about today? I mean, with speakers, you've heard this kind of preaching before. How can I bring another type of preaching in order to bring a different angle on this series of the fruits of the Spirit? You know, the whole goal of ministry and what I get involved in, even in music, is to bring something to someone that I know that God has given me. So I should be sharing it. And in that, when you're trying to pour into someone else, you're trying to help them and in some way heal if they're hurting, if they're stressed, if they're confused, enlighten them in some way, which is not anything I do, but it's my trying to contribute to the work that God is doing. So it's not that I come and do this stuff for proximity and praise the Lord, I bless somebody. No. It's I have something that I can give. I can play the guitar, and obviously, like, Jesus doesn't normally come down here and play the guitar himself. Like, we would all be dead. Like, no, we wouldn't be dead. Right, but they'd be very different if Jesus showed up in the flesh and played the guitar. But instead, I'm here and I'm saying, okay, if Jesus hasn't come back yet, I'm here and I can play the guitar. So God can use my twanging and simple chords, and God can funnel his message through that and give it to someone else. So in a way, I would just say, like, healing / pouring into somebody, that's really what you should be trying to pour into ministry.
That's good. I do want to bring back the topic that you said about burnout. How was that played in your life?
Woo! Has it played? Well, okay. I will say this. Being involved is really good. And I would love to hear what you have to say about this, because I know that, you know, you've been involved in a ton of stuff as well. Being involved is really good. But when you are not balancing or checking in with yourself while you are being involved, it can almost become toxic the way you become involved, right? And that sounds a little iffy because you're saying it's toxic to be involved in ministry. But when you really break it down, we had daily music. When I was in high school, for example, we had chapel every day. Wow. And every day we did music. Now here we do it once a week, and we don't have music every chapel. We have it maybe like once a month, maybe even less. And so at chapel, it would be 8 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Or it'd be 8:50. 8:50 in the morning, we'd all gather in the chapel, and we'd have maybe 1 to 3 songs. And that responsibility fell on the students, which at first it was so cool. And it was like, so, wow, we get to use microphones. We get to pick our own songs. We can have multiple singers. And it was really cool. But just the way that things went, I mean, it was such a big burden for the people who were in charge of it, like our principal or amazing staff. It was just a lot for them. So when it fell on us, oftentimes it would be last minute, like 5 minutes before, can you do this song? And then it started becoming, okay, like, yeah, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to serve. And then it would become like the same people singing and just like being tired, not having extra time to study in between classes, and constantly being up front, constantly being drained. And then the more you're up front, the more you begin to get people's opinions about what you're doing up front, which is also not cute, because a bunch of people will sit in the audience and watch you do things 4 out of the 5 days of the week. And they would see me singing a ton up there. Not because I was being asked a ton, but it was needed. Nobody else was doing it. And so when they see you up there a ton, and when they see you do the same things, or you're trying something new, they will come and tell you how you could do it better, or what they thought about it, right? And so combining with, you're putting in a ton of energy into preparing all these things for chapel, let's say. And then on Saturdays, I would help with Sabbath school, and then I would sing at church. And then we would go to AY at the, you're overloading your time with good things, but you're spending all your energy, and people are taking some of your energy, and you're not refilling it right. And so I was constantly feeling like I was beginning to pour from an empty cup, as many people would say. And when I was doing that, I became irritable when I was doing ministry. Yeah. And that was not good. And that just made me feel like I was poisoning the environment, because I'm here to serve. Why am I cranky? And I have the right to be cranky, but I'm so irritable, and I don't want to talk to this person because they're bothering me. And then I don't want to do this because I've done this so many times, and I lose the meaning of this wonderful song, let's say, and I start beefing with the song because I have bad memories associated to it, and I just don't want to do it anymore, and I say no, and then I stop wanting to do things, right? And it's all because I just overloaded. I didn't take the time to fully fill my cup with the right things, step away for a second, and then come back ready to give what I can give. I was giving what I couldn't give. And that also turned into hey, can you do a devotional talk tomorrow? Sure. I mean, yeah, I can just talk on what the Lord has said and what the Lord has done, and I can make something really good up because I'm good with my words.
Yeah.
But it's not that I'm feeling what I'm telling you. So maybe you're blessed because God can make anything happen out of the worst of me. But still, it felt to me like wrong after a while to be doing that sort of thing and not be into it because I wasn't connected to the things that I was giving. So burnout is real. It happened in high school. It's happened in college. It's happened a ton. And anyone who gets into ministry will probably face it at some point. So it's rough, but you got to be filling your cup. That's what I'll say.
What's your favorite way to fill your cup?
This right here. I mean, guys, I don't know. Like, yes, I mean, first and foremost, get into the word, put everything away, sit down and just like, God, please hear me out. Like, I'm tired, man. Look what's happening. You're seeing this, right? Like, you're seeing this. And sitting down and telling God what's on my mind and listening to some songs that I know will calm me down, recentering myself. And then just like putting that aside and like filling myself with like, okay, let me just like, I'm grounded. Okay, I talked to Jesus. I'm cool. Then I find somebody who I know is also trying to do the same thing as me. And I'll find someone that I know I can have like a soul connection to. And we can do whatever it is. It doesn't matter to me. It could be whatever. And what we've been doing, like Celeste and I have been doing these 30 days of YOLO. I think so we call it something like 30 days YOLO. Yeah. And we wanted to do like a fun thing a day. So we ran at night with silly headbands on and we took a walk to the forest and threw rocks into the river. Yeah. We went to spin class, a bunch of this tiny little things. But that totally refilled my cup because it's like, hey, I'm making a choice and I'm doing this fun thing with somebody that I want to be with. And I know that this person, in the end of the day, they're looking in their hearts and they're also seeking Jesus. So like, I feel like I'm so supported right now, even if we're just making a puzzle. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. I feel so supported because I know that I'm not alone when I'm struggling. And I know that even if I am struggling, I can still come and do this fun thing and everything's going to be okay. Wow. Because Jesus sees that I'm struggling. I take some time, I spend it with him. He's like, okay, you know, like, here's this person that I also gave you, like, this can help. Aww. And so he'll give me these people that I can hang out with and talk to and talk with my parents, hang out with my parents, these people that I know have my back. I'll spend time with them. They uplift me. They fill me with good words and they fill me up. And that just, I mean, I can go for miles after that. Yeah. Like after this, probably, like I could go and be like, let's go, like evangelize. Like, door to door. Yes. Like, hey guys, it gives you such energy to be with people, at least for me. An extrovert. It gives me such energy to be with the right kind of people doing the right kind of thing. And that totally fills me up because it's like, no, yeah, remember, like there is good stuff. There is good stuff. And it reminds you it's good stuff. And after that, you're like, yeah, that bad stuff wasn't so bad because this good stuff outweighs everything, you know? Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I think for me, I think we've experienced burnout in different ways, which is normal. I think some burnout can be you're saying yes to too many things, but it can also be losing the plot of what you're doing and not seeing the use for it. So that's the way that I've experienced burnout, especially in, you know, just not feeling like the work that you do even matters or nobody's benefiting from it. And so I think for me, a way to fill that is talking to people. I know this one person, she's my coworker actually, she just recently said that she watched my podcast, and I've never really mentioned my podcast to her, and just knowing that like she loved it, and I mean, even if she didn't love it, that wouldn't fill my cup any less. I mean, maybe a little bit. We're human, you know what I mean? But I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's just the fact that knowing it's affecting somebody, whether it's, you know, especially when it's working in social media and something where it depends on, okay, how many people are viewing it, how many people are liking it, and it's like that's not what drives it, but it is nice to hear that it's helped one person or one person watches it. And so just that definitely fills my cup, just talking to people about it. And definitely these episodes, they fill it up, you know, just getting to talk to people about ministry and what fills them up. Like, that's awesome.
And I was going to ask too, like, proximity showed me a whole new world of social media that I didn't because my relationship with Instagram, like I'll goof around, I'll post a little something on my close friends, I'll maybe post a post every once a year.
And then you'll delete it for 6 months.
I will get off and I won't do anything. And I never check how many likes I have. I rarely check my comments. Yeah. So for me, it was very different. And I wanted to ask you as well, because with this, like, first off, side note, even if the glory does not go to the people who are doing it, it's really important to build them up. Because, I mean, getting told, this happened to me at camp. I put hours upon hours upon hours and worth every second. It wasn't anything that's against it. Yeah. But I put so much time into writing these plays and into preparing and finding backup plans and asking people and all these different logistics that go into programming. Sometimes you don't really sleep a lot when you do ministry. The other night I was editing a video for Proximity, skip 30 seconds, mom, and I slept probably 2.5 hours because I was editing and I was just like, whatever. And so you put a lot of yourself into it. And sometimes if things go wrong or people give you negative feedback, it makes it so hard to feel that it's worth it because no one is thanking you for doing it. And you're like, okay, God, I'm doing it for you. I don't need man's praise. I don't need men's approval, but I'm only human. And I just need sometimes someone to tell me I'm doing it right. Yeah. So after Proximity, like if one person who came up to me and said, listen, this year went really well. Good job. Like proud of you for putting in your effort. It means so much. So if you know somebody who's putting in the work and doing something for your school and for your church, thank them because they deserve it. Number 2, yes, social media is huge. I mean, now you're building a podcast and you've been building 2 podcasts now and you've been dabbling and you've been using ministry online on different platforms. And that can be hard because businesses online rely on marketing. They rely on getting the word out and getting people to view it. Yeah. Because why would you make something for people not to hear it? You want people to hear it because you think it could benefit them. And so I was going to say, like, you're talking about burnout when you feel like what you're doing isn't worth it or reaching people. I mean, how do you deal with that when it's not for your glory or not for man's praise, but it also relies on man's participation? Like, how do you balance that?
It's true. I will say for me specifically for this podcast, I mean, the goal isn't money. You know what I mean? That's definitely not the goal. That's not what drives anything. Yeah. It's just, well, I would love to have these conversations with people no matter who gets to see them or not. I see it as, I'm recording it as a plus side. Okay. Like, I get to have this conversation, but I'm also recording it so that other people can maybe watch it and they can be like, wait, I felt burnout too. Or I asked your dad about how should we pray? And like, what if I struggle with prayer and I don't really know what it means? And I want to hear about this pastor that's dealt with it and studied about it. And so that's, I don't know, I see it as a plus side.
So it's continually just like thinking about, okay, I know that I'm not doing it for them. Exactly. I know it matters, but God will bring the right people, even if it's 5 people. God knows who needs to hear this message, and you're just doing your daily part. I love that. Take these fish and multiply them.
That's so funny.
Love that.
Is there something that you think people have a misconception of people that always are up front and like help out with stuff?
Yes, I do.
Talk about it.
Yes, I do. So glad you asked that.
Talk about it.
Oh my word. Okay, amazing. I love that you asked me that question. I'm sorry. Like, wow. No, you guys don't understand. Like, Celeste is asking me all these things that I've like vented to my parents about and vented to my sister about, and now you're like asking me such deep questions. Well, I mean, not everyone up front who seems that they are out there and outgoing and in leadership, they're not always as confident and as supported as you think they are. I mean, when you see somebody up there like who's able to joke around or who's able to deliver a message and seems comfortable with the mic and always saying hi to people, I mean, a lot of times they're the people who are going home or alone on the weekends. And that's just a reality. I mean, I'll talk from my experience because I'm not going to try and assume for other people too much. But I mean, definitely a lot of people who are up front seem like they have it all together because they constantly have to be up there and they want to bring the best to you. And so they try their very best and they put on the most energy that they can and they'll greet you and they'll be involved. But that doesn't always mean that they have the support system that they need. Now, for me, I have a good support system. I love my support system. I'm so thankful. But oftentimes it's hard for people to connect at a deeper level with you because you're always saying hi to them surface level. Hey, how you doing? How can I pray for you? This and that. What's up? Like, you always say hi to people. But people only see that front of you. And they'll see you for being bubbly and energetic because that's what I think people expect of me. And so everywhere I go, I think, okay, I got to be this, and I got to be friendly, and I always got to be nice, and I always have to. I was telling Prescott this, my boss. I was having a conversation with my boss, and I was telling him my senior quote in high school was a Mother Teresa quote that basically says, "Let nobody leave your presence without feeling happier in some way." I'm paraphrasing. But I loved that quote. And I loved it so much, I started using it everywhere I went. Every single time I saw somebody, I wanted to make them laugh, or I wanted to make them happy, or compliment them, or bring some sort of joy into their lives. And I started toxically using that quote in everything. I mean, every single time I went to be with somebody, I wanted to leave an impression. I want them to remember that this is a happy moment in their day. I want them to walk away feeling like, yes, that was good. That was happy. Wow, that was so like Jesus filled. And I wanted that so badly that even if I was like tired out of my mind, or if I was cranky, or if I had just been crying in my room, or something bad had happened to me, I mean, lots of instances, even when I was grieving the loss of somebody I loved, I mean, somebody came and checked and said how I was doing, and I tried to make a joke and like, haha, and make it seem fine because I wanted that to happen. But oftentimes when you do that and you're always putting that out, people expect that of you. So you can never truly let down your guard because you're like, if I let down my guard, people will see a version of me that they're not used to, and they'll think that I've changed and that I've become meaner and I've become worse, when all you're doing is not putting your best foot, all attention on somebody else every single second of the day. And so lots of times people will see somebody up there and assume, oh, they've got their friends, they've got support. People tell them all the time how good they're doing. They don't need more help. They're fine. They're confident in themselves. They're not insecure at all. So I don't really need to do anything for them. And that's not me asking for pity, but it's just to be aware anywhere you go, there are people up there doing things for you, being involved, putting their best foot out there. And those people hurt the exact same way that you do. And those people have the same insecurities when they look in the mirror. And those people struggle with their devotional lives as much as you do, as twisted as it is, because you think that they're upfront, that means that they're tight with Jesus like that. Don't get me wrong. Jesus is my homie. Like Jesus is there for me, and I love him. But it's hard sometimes to keep up with a devotional life when days are packed and I'm exhausted and maybe I'm not happy with Jesus for something that happened and he could have stopped it. I struggle with the exact same things as a leader than as somebody who's sitting in the pew. So one misconception, yes, I would say, is that people up front do not have it put together, and they don't even, maybe I'll rephrase. You've heard that it's said that people up front don't have everything together, and that's true. But people up front also don't seem or aren't as happy or confident as they always seem sometimes. So they equally need your support as much as they're trying to support you. Does that make sense?
It's true, yeah. It's true.
Yes, huge one. Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what Pastor Jerry was talking about last
Really?
week at Prox, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He was
yeah,
talking
he's right.
about
He's
how
right.
even as a pastor, like just because that's what they're, supposed to be known for and what their career is, they also struggle with it too. It's very real.
And that's rough because the standards that we have of people are there for a reason. Yes, I want to expect that my pastor is a kind person. I don't think I should not expect that.
Yeah.
But oftentimes it just creates this false sense of, I don't know the word I'm trying to use, but it's like a sense of perfection for what you do, a sense of perfection for your craft and your career. Yeah. That's a standard you want to reach always.
Yeah.
But if you don't reach it, it doesn't mean that you're bad at it. But even in ministry, like everything has to do with Jesus in ministry, or it should. But everything in ministry goes back to Jesus. So if you meet a pastor and they're tired and they're late for a flight, or there's something and they're frustrated, they missed something, whatever it is, they lost something, they're mad, and they're aggravated. If they say something like, oh, or they snap or something. Yes, I mean, if anybody did that, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of rude. Like, sorry, gross. But if a pastor did that, naturally people would be like,
he's a terrible pastor. He should never have worked for the church.
There's no way a pastor did that. Yeah. Oh my Lord, this is insane. And we're acting as if a pastor is not equally, normally, humanly, naturally, like, that was like 4 adjectives. We're acting as if pastors wouldn't humanly tend to do the same thing as we do. They're not glorified. Like, understand me, people in ministry are not selected at a higher level because they're better than you, right? That we're on the same level. We're human. They are needing the Lord and they're needing salvation just as much as you do. Believe me. Once they step into a pastoral, once they step into a chaplaincy or a student chaplaincy role, something doesn't happen in their life where all of a sudden they become less tempted and more sanctified. It just happens that they're involved more and the standards are now raised for them. And so yes, standards are good because it helps us keep on track of what our mission should be. But don't label people for being bad at what they do if they don't meet a standard every once in a while. Forgive them. Like, forgiveness is huge. In ministry, we have to learn to forgive people if there's something that happens that's wrong. Because if your coworker aggravates you or you miss something or you do something wrong, that doesn't mean your calling is erased or you're doing terrible in your calling. God is trying to constantly prepare you and equip you for the next part of your calling or the one that you're in. So I mean, standards are important, yes, but forgiveness when they're not met is equally as important because we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect.
I'm excited for this next question.
Yay!
Because I know when it comes to being involved, I know you've been involved in speaking, event planning, and music. So you've been involved in, I guess, all of the ways there is to be involved. And so and you've worked with different types of leaders too. What do you think is something that you think more leaders should do or shouldn't do or something along those lines?
Well, honestly, this is going to be vague. Take it how you want it. I feel like the minute things start to go wrong is the minute that a leader starts to think selfishly. And when you're in a meeting, let's say, it can be as little as being in a meeting. We've been in meetings together. And there are times when our team does not agree, right? And so we're struggling with the decision or some of us are at 100%, some of us are at 40. And we're in the room and we're trying to decide. Obviously, some of us are more stubborn than others. So first off, the selfishness comes in wanting our idea to work. And I will say because I'm a stubborn person. I want my idea to work. I thought about it. I prayed about it. I have so many ideas. I want it to work. If somebody doesn't like it, the minute I start to turn selfish and start to push and want my idea or think that, okay, well, now these people are irritating me because I'm in a meeting and I'm trying, but they're not, and they're making me mad. And so I just want to retreat and not talk. But in reality, if I sit here and I humble myself in the sight of the Lord and I say, okay, well, isn't my idea truly great, right? Am I annoying these people or hurting these people by the dryness of my tone? And am I just thinking of myself right now? And so a lot of times, I'll go into music, for example. In music, you have to practice. You have to assemble the set. You have to choose people, songs, write lyrics, choose keys, instrumentation, find out the things about AV. You have to sound check all these people. There's a lot of requirements. Now, if somebody shows up late, because let me get in my seat because some of you guys, no, I'm just kidding. I've been late too. But if somebody comes late, this person may be thinking, well, I don't have to be there. If I can't be there at 5:35, I'm going to be there at 5:50 and they can just start without me. That becomes, how can I be fine with the decision that I made? And I'm just going to find a way to not feel bad about the fact that I'm late. Now I am making the leader who's sitting there waiting be like, oh, okay, well, this person's late, so I can't start. So now all these singers who got here on time are waiting 25, 30 minutes for nothing. And it's just so inconsiderate. So I get mad at the person that's late. And when I'm mad, it poisons the way that I try to lead worship. And so all those people are kind of irritated because I'm irritated that someone's late. And so we're not all now irritated. So if I start with my decision, I say, no, like, let me not be selfish. I know I don't want to go to this, but I need to be there to be considerate of somebody else. I'll try and come on time and I'll just be genuine. And I'll say, listen, I'm so sorry I'm late. This and this happened. And if I'm as a leader, we'll sit here and say, you know what, like, thank you for saying that, truly it's no big deal. Like, we'll just try our best. And if the singer is sitting there waiting can assume the best, then it's like, okay, we're all humbling ourselves. We're saying, how can I forgive? How can I be less selfish with my time? How can I make it ministry focused and not just what I can get out of it? And so I would say, like, being consistently humble and stepping down from a horse, even if people are trying to put you on it and if you deserve it. I mean, if you're an amazing singer with vocals, I will throw my shoe at you any day. Like, you deserve like to be acknowledged. But if you're constantly saying, no, like, let me humble myself and make sure that it's not about me, or everything I'm involved in, it's not about how I can benefit. And I can look at other people, and if someone else has failed me in any way, let me try and give them the benefit of the doubt first. And let me forgive first. If I don't have those two layers to protect me, then I will hit the wall of just irritation, and I mean, everything go downhill from there. But if I try and separate it with, let me try and give benefit of the doubt, and then let me throw some compassion in there. And if I need help with those two and those layers are going thin, I mean, that is why Jesus wants us to pray. Jesus doesn't want me to pray in certain occasions. He wants to help me with that. But if I don't ask him, I mean, I can hit the wall pretty quick. So, I mean, being considerate, being humble, being forgiving, and just like overall taking yourself out of what you're doing as much as possible, because the less of you there is, the more that Jesus has room to utilize, and then the better that he can utilize what you have.
Wow. That was a clip. The less of
That's
me,
what I would say.
the more Jesus is.
I mean, yeah,
awesome.
there's songs about it all over.
I like your perspective, because you're giving the perspective of both the leader that's dealing with other people that are late, but also as someone that like is considerate of the leader's time. So you're seeing it from both sides, and not just blaming one side or the other, but you're saying both can have some patience and compassion and respect for people's times. So it's interesting.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Goes both ways.
Goes both ways for
Yeah.
sure. I did have one other question for when it comes to this is something, I don't know if you've ever experienced this controversy, or if you've ever been in a conversation like this, but probably. What do you think about those people that say, or that have the opinion of people that go up and lead are self-absorbed, or like, do you know what I mean? Those people that think that just because you're up front and leading, it means that, oh, I'm the best person ever, and it means I have something that nobody else does, that means I can go up and lead. Have you experienced that at all?
Oh yeah, girl. Yes. Let me tell you, half of you is wrong.
Wow.
Half of you is wrong, and half of you is right. Because, maybe not half, but there are people up there who you know that they're going up there because you know that they can riff it up into the mic, and they want that. Like, they want to be in singing because they want to get on stage. And it's very easy, the more you get into ministry, to point that out. And you can say, listen, I don't want to judge your heart, but I mean, you're trying to take all the solos, and you're like trying to take all the songs, and you're not even considering like praying before we start, and you're like being kind of iffy and rude and like off and whatever. There's a vibe, and you can tell, because what's in somebody's heart will show. But to what you're saying, the majority of people are wrong, because just because somebody is up front doesn't mean they're trying to take the stage. But somebody's got to be up front. Like, you can't have a church service without being involved. And oftentimes when you see people who are repeatedly up front, it's not because they are asking to be up front all the time. Take it, for example, here on campus. When you're doing music, there's so much talent. But the people who are wanting to get involved and are asking and trying to put themselves out there aren't that many. And so when you're having these people who are repeated, it's because those are the people that you can count on. And the people who are trying to do ministry and trying to get involved and willing to give every single weekend of their time to sing in church, or help in Sabbath school, or sing in Vespers, or do anything for the services during the weekend, those are the people that are trying their hardest. So if you see them repeatedly, many times it's because not that many other people are reliable, and people are going back to the people they know that they can trust. And so you'll see the same people playing keys or singing or leading, because there's not truly that many people who are showing that they want to do this out of the goodness of their heart. And even then, sometimes, I mean, it's hard, because if you're giving every weekend, sometimes you get tired and you say, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore, like, I'm so tired. But you get on stage and you try and tap into what you have and whatever. But I mean, yeah, the people who are up front, sometimes there are people who are going to be arrogant in that way. I mean, that goes for everything. I can talk people in my class. I can talk people at work. I can talk people at the coffee shop. I can talk people anywhere. You can spot an arrogant person when you see one. But when you see people in the worship setting, don't be so fast to judge as if that's the only arrogant person you've ever seen. Like, you see somebody up there and you're like, well, they're up front. That means they want the stage and they asked for it and they want it. And it's just, I don't want to watch them because it looks so performative. Again, like, advice back to what you were saying about leaders, like, take a step back, and give somebody the benefit of the doubt in the audience now. Now I'm not talking about leadership. I'm talking about receiving. If you're not giving and you're not like participating, but you're just sitting and receiving and participating in that way, you have the same, like, I would give you the same advice as you gave for the previous question. Like, give somebody compassion and forgiveness and understanding. Give them of the benefit of the doubt. If somebody's up there and they're like putting in a lot of effort, maybe they're actually really trying because they want to be there serving you. Like they're getting involved so that you can have an experience. Don't be so quick to judge just because you're not the one up there. It's so easy to sit down and say that note sounded off. That person looked performative. I don't like this that happened. This preacher was so controversial. I didn't like that. But come with a spirit of, no, let me humble myself, because who am I to judge when I'm not sitting up there? Truthfully, I'm not getting involved. I'm not going up front. I'm not helping out at all, but I'm giving my opinions as if I ran the place. Now, that was a little harsh. Now, most of the people don't do that.
No, it's true.
But there are some people that are very, very quick to judge and give you negative feedback and call you names when you're in leadership, when that's not your heart at all. But they're sitting there watching you getting what they think you are. But they're not trying to contribute in any way. So if you're one person who might be sitting there observing and judging in that way, take a step back and say, okay, first of all, like, let me pray a little bit, because what right do I have to judge man? I mean, God is the only person who can judge any of us, right? But then it's like, okay, if I'm really judging, where is it coming from? Where inside is it coming from? Am I feeling like I want to be a part of it and I'm jealous because I'm not? Am I feeling like I'm angry about this and I'm masking it by trying to blame someone else?
Yeah.
I mean, go inside and think, where is it coming from? And if you genuinely feel like, okay, this person's up there a lot, whatever, pray for them. If you really think they're arrogant, like, put them in your prayers, like, put them in the hands of God, because people in ministry, if they get too arrogant, I mean, they need prayer too. And that goes for anybody, including myself. Like, if there's any moment where I'm not humble, I need prayer and I need to be sat down by the Lord and say, like, calm down, girl. Like, you got to do this for the right reasons. And so pray for somebody and then forgive them. Don't let somebody who's up there who you think is arrogant and maybe isn't, but if you see somebody like that, I mean, forgive them for the faults that they have, because at the end of the day, they're still trying in some way and they're still up there, and nobody is perfect. You're never going to see somebody on stage who doesn't have a fault in them. So at all times, I mean, pray for the people that are on stage. Even if you're sitting here listening, pray for them to be receptive of the Holy Spirit, and pray for yourself to hear what they're trying to share with you. I mean, if you ever feel like anything is in discord, just put it in the hands of God and try and put it in the best light possible. I mean, life's too short to be sitting here like mean and nasty and bitter about everything. Like, just forgive people and like try and see it for what it could be.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
good
yeah.
advice. Because anyone can find anything to complain about.
All the time.
All the time.
I can too, but we all like to complain.
Yeah.
We love complaining.
It's true.
Yeah.
What is something you wish you could say to those people that are thinking about getting involved, or maybe they don't think that they can do it or they have what it takes? What would you tell them?
I mean, I would first want to like kick some life into them. Like, girl, stand up. Or boy, like, stand up, please. Like, you have so much, first off, to offer that you don't even know you have to offer. Like, there are people out there waiting to receive what you can give. So don't think so low of yourself. I mean, God has you alive right now listening to this for a specific reason. God has given you the things that you're good at for a specific reason. He created you in the shape that you are, as my coach Bikini has told me. He's also a pastor. But he was telling me about the shapes that we're made in. And shape is an acronym for like personality, experiences, habits. I forget the other two. But you were created in a specific shape. So the fact that you were created in the shape means that you were made for something. And like when you make something, when you build a fire, you don't build it being like, what's the fire for? Or like, maybe you want to understand like, where should I build this fire so it like burns the right place for the right people? But like, the fire is burnt clearly so that it can be used and utilized, not so it can be like put under a blanket immediately. God created it for it to be used and fueled and continue to be grown and shown to the right people. So like, give yourself some confidence. Like, you really do have what it takes. Don't wait for you to perfect and be better at something in order to go in. I mean, put it immediately in the hands of God. If you want to get involved, but you're feeling iffy, no, like, put it immediately. Start praying about it, saying, God, I'm feeling insecure. I'm feeling not confident. I'm kind of scared. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, do whatever you want with whatever mess I have right now, but I want to get involved. Like, I want to help you. Like, give me something to do. Wow. And I guarantee Jesus is never going to look at you saying that and be like, oh, let me think about it, queen. Like, let me think about it. No, like he wants all the time. He needs you to be doing that because there are people who are genuinely sad and hurting and confused. And there are people your age who don't know who to connect to yet because they don't see something that they can resonate with until you show up. And that's the reality. I mean, we have motivational speakers all over the world. We have musicians all over the world. We have video editors all over the world. I mean, there's so many things that are so big and popular right now, but there are so many niche things that it's like, we were talking about what is ministry, going back to the first question. I mean, who could think of a way to make like wakeboarding a ministry? True. But then they started doing that here. Wow. Who can think of like skateboarding? I mean, a friend of ours, he plays like in a rock metal band, and I don't know if you're for that or not, but he does it in a form of ministry. He does that to like witness to people who would never come to church, but he's in the space of people, and he can witness to people that are sitting here in bars and in whatever listening to heavy metal. I mean, find your niche, look at your niche, and your niche can be a ministry, but don't sit around waiting till you're perfect at it. Like, look at your niche. Okay, I have this small thing. I can crochet. Bless you if you can. It makes me so mad. I can't do it. But bless you. I can do crafts. I can sing. I can do something. Whatever it is that you're good at, find a way to share that with somebody, and God will automatically start multiplying the fish and the loaves that you give him. Like, don't sit there and wait till you feel confident, and don't sit there and wait until you feel good at what you do. Just constantly put it in prayer and start doing something. You're going to be bad at sometimes. It's fine. I've sang at church and they have taken off the lyrics and I've just like by myself the entire time. It's embarrassing, and you're going to get embarrassed, and it's fine. Like, nobody's perfect and it's going to be awkward, but it's 10 times better than you regretting not doing something and wishing you were there. Put yourself out there, like, feel confident in yourself. If you need some words of encouragement, find somebody who can build you up. Go into the Bible. God is hyping you up all throughout the Bible. Like, go into the Bible, read that, and see that, and get yourself inspired in some way, shape, or form, and just, like, start something. And then see where it goes. Come back in the next episode if you're stuck after you start something, but start something. Like, don't listen to this and think, I'm not going to try anything, and just I'll think about it. No. Like, I dare you.
Go do it.
Go start something.
She dares you. You can't back
Dare. Double dog. Yes.
I love that. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true what you said. There's a market for everybody.
There's a market for everybody.
Someone can reach someone that another person can't, even if they're in the same role. It's
exactly. True. And I could never do the same thing that you're doing, even if I did the exact same thing, because you do it differently. And I know that's not my strength. Celeste is a beast at this. I can't do this. Like,
please. No, but what you said. You just start it, and then you grow as you go. You don't have to be.
Look where you are now.
Hey, it's true. You grow as you go.
Yep. Oh, I love that song.
I want to know, is there a book of the Bible, a verse, or a quote that you said Mother Teresa, but are there other quotes that you've, I don't know, that have shaped your life and that you think of when you need them?
Ooh, there's so many good ones. Okay.
You can name a couple.
Just pick the one you like the most.
Perfect.
I don't even know if they're correlated, but I'll just start spilling words. Whenever I'm feeling insecure about something, whether it's in a social setting and I feel alone, or I'm in ministry and I just feel like imposter syndrome to the max. My dad used to tell me, imagine if you were at school and, I don't know, I've experienced bullying. It's just, I'm dropping that. That sounds so awkward saying it. But I've experienced bullying at school, and whenever I would feel like that, or when you feel just by yourself in any way, my dad used to say, okay, imagine that Messi came to school. And Messi was like, yeah, I'm going to hang out with you. And Messi wanted to like hang out with you and help you with the school and be with you. Then people started calling you names, and you're like, and Messi's like, dude, like, who cares what they're saying? Like, come hang out with me. And I was like, because Messi's like, whatever, you know Messi, nobody doesn't know who Messi is. And Messi's so cool, and he's so like, everybody loves him. And so then like, you don't care what everyone else is saying to you if Messi's sitting there with you. You can call me any name you want, but I'm sitting with Messi. Like, you guys are dumb. So then he was like, if you think about that, for a soccer player who's imperfect and short and lives somewhere else and just like, I mean, just a random person, multiply that times 1,000,000 billion. And that is like God sitting with you every single day. So if other people are telling you things and are hurting you or doing anything to you, yes, of course it hurts and you don't like it and it's not fair. But you're literally sitting with Jesus right now. Like, he made everything in front of you, and everything good that exists, like every good and perfect gift came from him. And he like has existed forever. He will exist forever. Like he's perfect in every way. He loves you. He cares about you, even if you do everything wrong. So if you're sitting there and people are hurting you in any way and people are saying names about you, people can say whatever they want. Like Jesus is sitting with you. Who cares? Like don't stop doing what you love to do and don't stop being who you are just because other people try and tear you down. People are going to have 1,001 reasons to tell you why they don't like you. Okay. People are going to tell you 1,000 reasons why they don't want to be with you. People are going to tell you different reasons why. I mean, so many different things. And things can tear you down and words can hurt you. And you can struggle in so many different areas of your life. But at the end of the day, like, don't let that kill your spark. Because the minute you lose your spark, I mean, if you don't do things okay, like if you goof around, whatever. But you don't want to lose yourself. Especially in who God created you to be. And I've struggled with identity for a while, you know, and I've struggled with, okay, who am I around these people? Should I just melt and conform into whatever they want to be to make them happy? And am I loud? Am I quiet? Am I trying to be this? Am I whatever? Am I good at this? Am I trying to fit into a shape that I'm not? But the only times that I felt that I'm really thriving is when I feel like I can just be who I am without even waiting for someone to tell me it's okay. Like just be yourself any single time. Like, again, Jesus is sitting with you. He's the one that literally made you who you are. Who cares what other people say? Like, as long as you have Jesus with you, just try your hardest to just be yourself. Like, let yourself show everything that you have and let that all be used for good and for ministry. And that, when you combine being yourself and thriving in your own environment, and that combined with, okay, trying to follow God's will and do what he wants, combined with just sitting with him and constantly being with Jesus, like, hack for a perfect life. Like, hack for the best that you could possibly do down here on earth. Like, that's what I would say.
Wow. I need to clarify. First of all, that is such a your dad thing to say about picking Messi specifically. I would have assumed he said Jesus or literally anybody else, but he's like, so imagine Messi sitting there with you.
Because I did, and I was like, wait, good point. Like, yeah, he's good. But
Messi. Wow.
Yeah, he would say that,
That is the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. That's him.
Is there like a book or verse?
Oh, book or verse. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'll go with verse first.
Okay.
This one is pretty cliche a little bit, but last year I struggled a lot with a lot of changes that were happening in my life, and a lot of stuff was just putting me in the pits. And for a while I was just not great. I was confused about a lot. I was so insecure. I was sad. I mean, a bunch of stuff in my brain was not okay. I was feeling anxious all the time. And I just needed God to remind me in some way, like, something. Honestly, just something. And I was like, I mean, everybody has testimonies. I really just, I need something right now. And the first week of school, my first biology or like anatomy devotional, Dr. Navia said, he shared Jeremiah 29:11, which says, for I know the plans God has for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you and never to harm you, plans to give you hope in a future. And then that same Thursday at chapel, they spoke about that verse. And I was telling my friend, I'm like, hey, they brought up that verse twice. It was kind of nice to hear. And he was like, I don't know that that's an accident. And I was like, well, it's twice. You know, like you're making this up. You're just saying that because you want to help me. Friday, they introduced the theme of the year, which was good plans. Friday night, I go to my friend's room to hang out, and we meet this new girl who's joining our volleyball team. We're like, oh, come hang out. So we meet her. We're chatting it up. She turns her phone on. She's like, oh, I need to show you something. Her lock screen says Jeremiah 29:11.
Wow.
Okay. I go to church the next day. Church, they're talking about Jeremiah 29:11. I get that. Like, everything starts lining up. I mean, it shows up everywhere. And then every single time I needed it, like, take this summer, for example. I was having such an anxious day. I was just so stressed, and we were going to visit somebody in Arizona randomly. I'm like, okay, we're going to, whatever. Let's just go have lunch, and then I can deal with it later. We go into her house, and I'm like, listen, maybe I just need, like, a small, like, encouragement. Can you if you actually really have good plans for me, like you reminded me, like, can you show me at some point, like, show me this verse again, if you actually mean that in my lifetime. We walk in, it's on a plaque, like, huge on her wall. And I was just like, wow. And at that point, I really, truly, like, never could really doubt that God really actually does have good plans for me, because he shoved it in my face, even when I tried to make excuses that it was a coincidence. But seriously, like, if there was anything that I could try and push at you the same way that God pushed it at me, it would just be like, God actually has amazing plans for you specifically because he knows the blueprint of your life. He knows that because you have this past and you have this personality and these are the foods and the hobbies and the people that you like and don't like, he puts that all together and he knows exactly what path to put you on in order to give you like fulfillment and purpose and joy and meaning and just like everything you could ever seek or beyond what you could seek. Like God literally has that plan. So I would say like Jeremiah 29:11, don't let go of that verse. If you were to ever believe anything, believe like first off that Jesus loves you. Second off, that he has good plans for you and they're actually supposed to prosper you. And if you feel that you're dabbling in your plans and they're not prospering or it doesn't feel that right, like continue to commit it to God because God will clean up whatever mess. And book. I find that, that's rough. I will say author, Bob Goff. Okay. I mean, in terms of life, if you're feeling stuck or distracted or you need somebody who's a Christian author who can like ground you in like a fun and meaningful life the right way, I would say Bob Goff. But I have this devotional that's called Jesus Calling. It's by Sarah Young. I'll put it Sarah Young. Jesus Calling, and it's a devotional, a tiny devotional every single day. And I really, really feel like it truly brings me to a close conversation with God because the devotional is the devotional is written in a way that it's like God speaking to you. So it takes a verse and it like cross-references it studies it researches the verse and like everything, commentary, everything, and it writes something that God is saying to you. So for example, if it's Jeremiah 29:11, the devotional could sound something like, come, like sit with me, like look at the things that I'm planning for you. Don't think about the stuff that's stressing you out. Don't think about this, like put it away, just sit down. And it's like, it literally feels like I'm reading God writing me a letter. Wow. And it's so cute and it's just so sweet and it brings me so much peace to read it. And so I feel like when you're looking for grounding and you're looking for like, okay, maybe I'm even doing the right things and I'm feeling like I'm thriving in ministry, but I need my time with God, like always prioritize time with God over anything. And that is the devotional that I would give you if I were to say like, number one, spend time with God, read that devotional. It's easy, it's nice, and it's so cute.
What's your biggest advice on being able to read it every single day? Because I think the consistency is what's hard.
Yeah, girl, it really is hard sometimes. I mean, what's nice about it, if you're somebody that likes keeping track of something and you don't like missing a day, it's numbered. So you can write a schedule. If you are somebody who likes consistency, I mean, if you wake up at the same time every day, push it to 5 minutes earlier and do it first thing. Or if you like closing the day with God, like I would recommend starting your day with God, but if you want to do like a proper thing at night, like set a time and then make it the same as the gym. I've started going back to the gym a little bit recently, and the thing that's clicked in my mind is like, it's the same as class. Yeah. I cannot skip it. If I don't do that today, like I know the negative benefits. So I know that if I don't go to the gym, I mean, I could list 40 different negative benefits that happen if you don't work out. And I'll feel cranky and I'll do this and I'll feel like terrible about myself if I don't move my body, all these things. So if I don't spend time with God, night and day difference. If I feel more anxious during the day, if I'm not clear, if I'm confused, if I'm whatever, I know that it's because I didn't start it right. So look at the things like, okay, no, I don't want to feel this way. And I know that the proven answer is to spend time with Jesus. Don't let anything push that out. It's 5 minutes. Do it while you're eating if you want to. Do anything like in 5 minutes. You can take 5 minutes off doom scrolling respectfully. Like you can. I know the brain rot that's out there. You don't need all that much time. Like take 5 minutes even. And then you'll want to spend more because you realize that you really like this. And so just be intentional about it. Put a time every single day, even if it's not the same time, but don't skip. And even if you do, it's okay because then you can do it tomorrow.
Don't skip.
But don't skip.
Don't skip. Because then tomorrow becomes tomorrow.
Yeah. Today. Do it right now. After this.
That's true. Well, you can actually do it right now because we are ending.
Wow.
So go do your devotionals.
Yay.
Thank you so much, Fio. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I've definitely got some wisdom gems in there.
Yeah. Thank you for having me back. This is amazing.
Thank you guys so much for watching Ministry Reimagined. If you liked this episode and you want to support this podcast, please like the video, subscribe so you can see more, and leave a comment so we know what you think. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.